Welcome back. I'm Tina Dahealy and this is Cannes Lions Live. And it's time for, it's already that time, the end of day one. It's time for the Lions wrap-up. And here is Charlotte Williams, VP of Content at Lions, to help us pull out the key stories from today. It's been an exciting day one.
Yeah, very exciting. So I can get straight to it.
Go for it.
If you want. So yeah, 10 hot stories. The first one, I think, for anyone who's really missing Cannes, which I know a lot of us are.
Is it still raining? It's grey.
It probably doesn't look like that. Is that one, our usual host for the awards is actually in Cannes, stomping the streets, and for those missing their favourite backdrops, the Croisette, the Carlton Terrace, and of course the Lumiere Theatre, he is there getting some footage. So let's take a look at him.
I am Juan Señor, and this is Cannes Lions Live. Hello, where's everyone? Yes, this year the festival is not the same as in past years. Safety is still paramount, and as we cannot be here together in Cannes, I'm going to do my very best to bring a little bit of Cannes to you.
I feel sorry for Juan, he's got such a tough job.
I know, poor guy.
OK, what have we got at number 9?
So yeah, number 9. So I guess a few really from the world of healthcare. So in pharma, the Grand Prix went to a really innovative, incredible campaign really. So Sick Beats, which was a music vest powered by Spotify, and it helps people, kids really with cystic fibrosis, clear their lungs but also whilst listening to music, so much more enjoyable for them. It's a great collaboration between Wooja and Spotify, and is produced by Area 23, who are an FCB agency. So I think we should take a look.
Turn up the volume.
Oh my goodness!
There is a specific sound frequency, 40 hertz, that is proven as effective as traditional CF vest therapy. It loosens mucus, so patients can cough it up.
Yep, that is working.
The Wooja Sick Beats vest syncs to your smartphone and pulls these frequencies from the music you're listening to, delivering them to the chest in real time.
It feels like my treatment.
That's great. And pharma's seen, and we heard today, an exponential rise in the number of entries, 40%, and obviously a category that everybody's watching given the context of the last year.
Yeah, a lot of scrutiny, but also just, you know, huge leaps forward, I think, for that category. And we heard from the jury president of Pharma about this campaign. It was such a standout piece. And what she was talking about is how it really paves the way for the innovative use of tech in this category. So here she is talking about that and how it's good for the Lion and for the sector.
I think it's a beautiful use of tech because, you know, if we think about our health, what we see, how we feel, how we experience the world, it's through all of our senses. And to have a disease that has sound and that, you know, the vibration, the need for that beat, this is a solution. It is an innovation, more than certainly a campaign. It is something that will change the lives of people.
What's next?
So next, staying with the theme, health and wellness Lions. So the Grand Prix, or one of the Grand Prix, was for Still Our Staff, produced by TBWA London for BICO, and it's just crazy creative. They put the CVs of disabled people, their employees, on the front of their packaging. And what's interesting, I think, about this is it's quite rare to see humour in this category. It's hard to be funny. And also, you know, hard to do it well, really, without being offensive or anything like that. And we spoke to Andy Jex, who is CCO for TBWA London, who described how they were really able to weave that humour in such an authentic and genuine way. And the way they did that was really by getting to know the employees and finding out about them. So it's really, really interesting. And here's the work.
Because we engage the staff in a way where we allow them to be themselves. And that informed how we wrote the work. You know, we made mistakes at the beginning because we tried to write the work and then cast the people. We went, this is completely wrong. We need to know the people and then write the work for them. And that's exactly what we ended up doing. And that's why we ended up with the jokes and the humour and the way we wrote it. It's coming all from their personality.
And that's just an example of why it's so important to dig deep into the work, because I think it's really valuable for Lions members, people watching, to hear him talking about the fact that they did make mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. It's not all perfect. Doesn't happen brilliantly first time. So throughout Creativity on Demand, of course, DE&I is also a huge theme. You heard Andy talk there about disability, but of course it's been a huge theme in the work and in the world, really, for the last 12 months. And there's a really great session, Content on Demand, from Tiffany R. Warren, who is Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer at Sony Music. And she's talking really about how, companies will be judged on the actions that they take, of course. It's no longer just talk, it's around action. And the actual work that is put out there is a barometer of a company's commitment to DE&I. So here she is talking about that.
But I think we moved into an era of PR and performance, performative. It sounds good, it looks good, just telling a story, but really having no teeth behind it. Now we're in the era of action and accountability, and we have to show and prove. When you have companies who are supporting diversity, equity, and impact and inclusion, it comes out in the wash, as they say, so you'll see it in the work. And so you ask the question, how will you know? Look at the work. Look at the end product of that particular company, and it will show through there.
I think we'll hear a lot about accountability going forward.
Yeah.
We're halfway through. We're
halfway through. So the next theme, I think we've seen this in the work, we're also seeing it in the Content on Demand, is really around collaboration and partnerships. So partnerships for the greater good, for business, but also for the greater good, and how they can drive progress. So we're seeing a lot, again, as I say, in the work around combinations of brands and agencies and companies who are working together to deliver better products, services and communications. And here's on a slightly different tangent really related to that, but it's Coca-Cola, Amazon and McLaren. It's a fun partnership, and it saw how Formula One race drivers actually partnered with Amazon to deliver packages in McLaren cars, and also gave out free cans of Coca-Cola Zero. So during their Content on Demand keynote, we heard Claire Cronin talk about why this was such a good partnership and why it worked so well for all of them.
So when we look at a partnership, we tend to look at it through three lenses. We ask ourselves, is this partner purpose-led like us? Do they share our values? And then do they share our audience? We really want to engage with them in a way which is fun, relatable, accessible. And so when this partnership came together, it was really a meeting of minds and a true marriage between the three brands, because Coca-Cola, Amazon and McLaren really think about their customers and their fans, in our case, in a similar way. So we're really privileged to occupy a role in our consumers' lives.
Such a good idea.
Yeah, brilliant.
Number 4.
So next hot story comes from Ukraine. So they won their first silver outdoor lion. Really brilliant piece of work. We saw it a bit earlier actually, but it was picked up by Saatchi & Saatchi Ukraine for their work called Motherland Pride. And I think this work really showed bravery. It took a really ingenious and bold step to defend LGBTQ+ rights by making a statement using Ukraine's famous Motherland statue, which is really associated as a symbol of freedom. And so let's take a look at this piece of work.
The Motherland Monument was built in 1981 and became the tallest European statue. It is supposed to be a symbol of victory and protection, but even now in modern Ukraine, human rights are not protected. So we used the monument to show that change is possible. We hacked the monument by attaching the huge rainbow flag to its sword in real time. The statue's symbolism was suddenly transformed from the protection of Soviet values to human rights protection. The Motherland Monument was the only Pride participant on the streets this year.
Made such a big impact and no paid marketing behind it. It was interesting to hear.
Incredible. Yeah. Next story?
Yes, please.
So next story is in the print and publishing lion. I think this is interesting. This is different. It's a highly provocative and quite sexy series of photos for the not-for-profit charity Relate, which is the UK's largest relationship charity, essentially, and it challenged some stereotypes that we might be used to. And the insight is Relate discovered that only 10% of over 65s think society feels comfortable talking about sex and intimacy in later life. So they took action around this to try and sort of crack this unhealthy taboo, and it really struck a chord with the jurors, and the jury president Liz Taylor sort of explained today why it struck such a chord with them all. And here she is talking about that.
Human connection and sex was definitely a theme in that piece that got a lot of us talking.
And the photography really does help connect people with that work.
Yeah, I mean, that photography, I've never seen anything. I mean, again, I've never seen an older generation photograph like that. It was empowering. The headlines that went with it was something we had never seen before. So human connection was alive and well in that work for sure.
Your penultimate pick, Charlotte.
My penultimate pick. So this is a fun one. So we're going to stick to a couple of stories about the design lions. And I think one of our favourite things really at Lions HQ is to phone winners up and tell them they've won. You know, it's such an incredible feeling for them. It's a game changer and such an impressive achievement, really. So this week we've been capturing some of their reactions so far. And here is a wonderful reaction, I think, from the team at AKQA, who won the Grand Prix in design for their work, H&M Loop for H&M. So here they are on the phone talking about what it's like to win a lion.
So I brought you guys in today to tell you congratulations, because you guys are now Grand Prix winners of the Cannes Lion Award.
Oh, wow.
Wait, sorry, what?
You won a Grand Prix.
That's amazing. Like, that is just such phenomenal news for H&M and for AKQA and Universal that worked with us on that project. That is just, yeah, that's an amazing accolade. Thank you.
Oh, great to capture their reaction.
I know, and I think we'll see a lot more like that this week. Yeah.
That leaves us with your, not number one in terms of it being your favourite, but the last highlight from today.
Yeah, so I think the last highlight, and we should show really following on from that piece, is actually seeing that piece of work. So developing sustainable initiatives is obviously huge at the moment. Big theme in the work, really important theme and a priority for companies today. And I think what we've seen is H&M have really set a new precedent here in the world of fashion and in the world really with Loop, which is an innovative recycling system that can be scaled up around the world. So I think we should finish by taking a look at this piece of work.
Right now, 87% of clothing ends up as landfill. In its mission to change this, H&M introduced Loop, the world's first in-store garment-to-garment recycling system. Developed by the Hong Kong Research Institute of Textiles and Apparel and the H&M Foundation, Loop remakes your old garments over 8 steps. Fabric is shredded back into fibres, spun into yarn before it's knitted into something new, without water or chemicals.
Charlotte, thank you very much. That was brilliant. I will see you back here tomorrow.
Yes.
On this sofa.
Yes.
Hopefully it won't be
Myself
raining.
or a colleague. Yes, I know.
And we will wrap up what's looking like a very exciting day ahead. We will take a short break now, though, and I will run you through what we have coming up tomorrow.